Day 73, and we killing it. Yesterday we had the opportunity to meet Colton. Colton's a two-time Ewing sarcoma fighter, and he is nearing the end of his treatment. He was the patient that, if some of y'all remember from previous content, we walked what we thought was Ohio, but ended up being the West Virginia border for. So super happy that he's nearing the end. Continued prayers for him, but take a look.
But he was diagnosed 2019, April, to his right fibula. No, it was your fibula because it's right under his kneecap. So he lost part of his fibula, his kneecap, and part of his tibia. So he's got a rod. You can see the big scar.
Yep.
So we went about a year. You know, scans were good and everything. Finished treatment right as the pandemic started, March of 2020. Went the whole year, and then was re-diagnosed in March of 2021. This year, mets to his lungs. He had 3 spots on his lungs. And we went through chemo. The one little one disappeared. The big one shrunk, and they just did surgery 3 weeks ago. And he ended up losing the upper lobe of his right lung. They took the whole lobe. They told him, I mean, he could not, you couldn't pick your foot up, could you? He had a foot drop. And the doctor told him, it's probably always going to drag. It's probably, you're probably not going to be able to drive. You're probably not, that he just couldn't. And he gets, I mean, there's no foot drop anymore. He drives. He's got his driver's license.
Awesome.
And I mean, they kind of acted like, you'd be in a wheelchair, or you'd be, but one thing, when he started snorkeling, and one thing he wanted to do was, we were going to get him scuba certified. So eventually, they told him when they did this lung surgery that was off the table. He could do some light, snorkel 10, 12 feet down, but he could never scuba, would never recommend that he scuba dives with missing that lobe of his lung. But that's okay. He can still snorkel, right?
Motocross.
Well, yeah, Colton was a competitive. He raced motocross competitively.
Oh, that's sweet.
When he was younger.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Stop me if I'm wrong, but I mean, the second time, you get through it, and then you're on the other side of it, and your hair grows back, and life gets back to somewhat normal. And then to be hit with it the second time, it's like, wow. I mean, that's really like being kicked in the stomach.
Yeah, I can't imagine that. I have trouble wrapping my head around, because it's like, holy cow, like, it just sounds impossible, honestly. But people like yourself and everything, I mean, you're almost at the end of this. It's like, hey, I did that a second time. I mean, you didn't want to,
Right.
but I did it, and now we're moving on, right? My prayers are with you guys, for sure.
Appreciate it.
I know. Do you game?
Yeah.
I see. I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
Like on what do you play?
A PC.
But like what games?
Escape from Tarkov.
Oh, never heard of that one.
Where the guy dies and comes back. No, I don't even know it. I see it. No, I'm just walk away. I don't even know what that is. And he gets on that. Cause we do homeschool.
Yeah.
Because of cancer and pandemic,
Right.
it's just easier. And so he's kind of on a 3rd shift schedule. I just
Gotcha.
got him up. Just got him up.